What's up, Tailgaters? My name is Tailgate Nate. Welcome back to my channel. This is the last video that I'm going to be doing before I get into what I'm officially going to call the grind, where I get into schedule preview predictions, looking at teams, looking at players, looking at just everything major. So if you guys want to stick around for that, please hit that subscribe button and also ring that bell so you know when I upload and who I'm going to be talking about on a specific day. If you enjoyed this video, you can leave a like, also comment down below your thoughts on this video. Today, I'm going to be giving you my top 10 non-conference matchups of 2021. Not necessarily what I think are going to be the best games, but the games that I myself am most excited to watch. Some games that you might not see on this list. Well, you're not going to see any conference games. So you're not going to see like Ohio State, Michigan. You're not going to see Ohio State, Indiana. You're not going to see Oregon, Washington. You're not going to see like conference versus conference. You're going to see two conferences going against each other. One game that's not on here that I do want to mention is Cincinnati and Notre Dame. I do think that's going to be a good game, but Cincinnati and Notre Dame both show up later in this list. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. My number 10 game I have is Oklahoma and Nebraska. They're going to renew an old Big 12 rivalry, in an anticipated battle, in my opinion, in week 3. While we all know how good Oklahoma is going to be this year, and we all know that Nebraska has struggled in years past, I honestly think it's just going to be fun seeing these two teams on opposite sides of the football. I mean, we haven't seen this in so long, almost a decade. We haven't seen this rivalry, and one of the most historic, and might I say, probably one of the biggest and best rivalries that college football has ever seen. And it's going to be renewed over the next 2 years. The first one is in Norman. We all know that Oklahoma is going to be probably 10 times as good as Nebraska. Agreed. But it could be an interesting game. Nebraska's probably been thinking a lot about this game. Scott Frost probably been thinking a lot about this game. I think we're going to get to see. Now, Oklahoma's probably going to win the game, but we get to see how good Nebraska really is against an Oklahoma team. This game is at number 10. You can see it in week 3. Number 9 for me is Washington versus Michigan. This game is going to be played in the Big House. They're going to match up in an early season draw between what, in my opinion, are two hopeful teams. Washington and Michigan both have top 25 potential. In my opinion, Washington might be a little better off than Michigan as of right now. Again, you're going to see this game play out in week 2. Both these two teams are coming, well, Michigan's coming off not so good of a season last year, while Washington's coming off a pretty good season. Washington definitely has more momentum coming into this game than Michigan. Both of them should win their first games of the season, so they both should start out 1-0 coming into this game. Honestly, I honestly just can't wait. I mean, I think we're going to get to see how good Michigan really is, along with if Washington can keep that momentum. This, in my opinion, is just going to be a really fun game to watch. In the Big House, should be rocking, close to full capacity, I would imagine, for stadiums this season. This game for me is number 9. Number 8, Auburn and Penn State, an SEC versus Big Ten matchup. You don't normally see a lot of these in the regular season, but we do see one here. Auburn, Penn State, of course, both of them looking to rebound after disappointing 2020 seasons. Auburn, of course, is now going to have a new head coach. He was the old Boise State head coach. Should come in. Auburn should fare pretty decently this year. I am just excited to see how Auburn plays. Again, Auburn's one of those teams that I don't know a whole lot about coming into this year. I don't know if they're going to be good. Like, I just haven't made up my mind about what I think about Auburn quite yet, whereas Penn State, they should be a better team than they were last year. Should be much better than they were last year. And I think this game is even so going to prove how good both of these teams really are. And that's all a lot of these games on this list are, is to see how good these teams are. I just think this is going to be a great matchup. Both of these teams have some solid players on offense and defense. I think it's just going to be a fun game to watch. This one going to be played in Happy Valley. You can see it in week 2. Another game being played in week 2. Week 2 is filled with great games, guys. Iowa and Iowa State, the battle for the Cy-Hawk Trophy, but it could lead to more things than just the Cy-Hawk Trophy. I'm talking about the College Football Playoff Trophy. Iowa State is towards the top of the list. They're in the top 10 of pretty much everyone's polls right now, including mine. I have them at number 7. If you want to go back and watch that video, please be my guest. While Iowa is kind of hovering around the top 20, top 25 range, like definitely in the poll, in my opinion, but just kind of hovering there. I think people don't really know what to think about Iowa, and I did a video not too long ago saying that Iowa might be a little bit overhyped, and so does Iowa State. Probably both these teams that could be a little bit overhyped, but this is probably the highest stake the Cyhawk Trophy has been in a long time. We lost the game last year due to COVID and everything, but the year before, 2019, this was an amazing game. I expect another amazing game like 2019 here in 2021. College football playoff could mean a lot about this game if both of these teams are really, really good. Iowa State's probably going to be, and if Iowa can be really, really good as well, this is going to be a fantastic game. Louisiana and Texas are going to kick off the season. Both teams are looking to start the season strong. Texas has a new head coach. They're going to have a new quarterback as well, as Sam Ehlinger and Tom Herman are both out of there. Texas has to replace some weapons as well. Keontae Ingram is gone, but Bijan Robinson looks like one of the best backs in the nation. Tariq Black is gone. You're going to lose a lot of production at the wide receiver position as well. So Texas definitely got to replace a lot. But Louisiana, the top team in returning production, and they did it last year. They were able to beat Iowa State last year, and Iowa State was a team that very well could have won the Big 12 last year if it not had been for Oklahoma. Are they going to be the same story this year? Texas might compete for the Big 12 championship. Don't really quite know about Texas quite yet. They're probably going to be a decent team and definitely ranked to start the season. In my mind, I had them at number 22. Just where is this team going to be? Chances are Louisiana's probably going to be ranked higher than Texas come this game. And chances are high that Texas is going to be favored. This is going to be a close game. The talent gap that is present within these teams is not a lot. It might seem like a lot, but it's not. Louisiana's a good team, and you should think of Louisiana as a good team if you're a Texas fan. Should be concerned about this game. Louisiana, they showed they can pull off an upset last year. Can they do it again this year? That's the very first week of the season. The latest game that you're going to see on this list, week 4, Notre Dame and Wisconsin are going to battle in the Windy City as Jack Cohn is going to face his former team in the Wisconsin Badgers. Now on the Notre Dame side, this game was scheduled to play last year, but it didn't work out because, again, 2020 was what it was. So they're going to play in Chicago this year. And it should be a fairly interesting game. College football playoff aspirations may be on the line, but not as much as some other games. I think this is just going to be a fantastic game. A top 15 battle for sure if both teams are as good as everyone says they're going to be, myself included. Wisconsin is going to have Graham Mertz at quarterback. Of course, I just mentioned Jack Cohn. Can Jack Cohn be healthy, though? And can Notre Dame play as good as they did last year? I'll say probably not, but they could be close. And can Wisconsin rebound after the season that was what it was last year, right? Wisconsin, you could argue, was probably affected the most by COVID last year. Again, you could argue that, but that's my opinion. As someone who followed the Big Ten, pretty much only the Big Ten last year, as you saw on this YouTube channel. But I'm back to covering everyone now, and Wisconsin going to be a team that you're going to want to watch out for. But so is Notre Dame. This is just going to be a fantastic game. I can't wait to watch this game again. This game is in week 4. The game in week 3, that's, this is just going to be a fantastic game. Cincinnati and Indiana are going to be facing off. The game's going to be played in Bloomington. So Indiana probably going to be favored in this game, but maybe not by a lot. Or Cincinnati might be favored. I never know. This game is going to make fans wonder if either of these teams are the real deal. Cincinnati have proven for a long time now that they're a double-digit win team. And this is probably the best shot that a Group of 5 team has had to get into the playoffs since Houston 2016. I've mentioned that before on this channel as well. Cincinnati can prove if they can do it with a win here. They also have a game on the road against Notre Dame. Now, that's not on this list, but another game that you should watch out for. That game is taking place in week 5. This game, though, taking place in week 3. And Indiana, coming off a fantastic season last year, was one of the surprises last year. And can they do it again? In my opinion, Indiana is going to be even better this year than they were last year. So this game, this is going to be a fantastic game. I can't wait to watch this one. The winner of this game can go on to do great things, while the loser probably is out of playoff conversation. So this could be a playoff elimination game for both of these teams. This game for me, number 4 on the list. But now we get to the 3 games that everyone is talking about. And really, I don't care what order you put the first 2 in, but the one that I have at number 1 should be the number 1 game in everyone's books. But this is the number 3 game for me. Week 1, Miami and Alabama destined for Atlanta. And in my opinion, this is just a great way to kick off the season. Alabama's been doing this forever. They were supposed to do it with USC last year, but again, 2020 was what it was. I'm going to be saying that a lot this offseason. So, sorry, headphone warning, a bit too late. Miami should be competitive this year. I mean, they've been building for the past couple of years, coming off some great recruiting classes, and now De'Aaron King is at the helm. The question is he going to be healthy? He's probably going to end up playing this game, but there's a chance that he doesn't. So on the chance that he doesn't, is Miami going to, I mean, chances are Miami loses this game, right? Alabama just seems to be way too good, the number 1 team in my mind going into next season. Can Miami compete with Bama? And not only can they win the game, but can they win it impressively? In my opinion, Miami just should be focused on winning the game. But that's every football team's goal, right? This is going to be a fantastic game. Honestly, can't wait to watch it. Yeah, this is what I'm calling the Alabama kickoff, but it's really the game in Atlanta. But Alabama seems to be in it every single year. This is going to be a fantastic game. No question about it. Again, you can see it in week 1. In week 2, you're going to see a highly anticipated rematch of the 2014 National Championship game. If you remember back in 2014, the Ohio State Buckeyes won the first ever college football playoff with a 42-20 down beat of the Oregon Ducks. And now they're going to be facing again on the gridiron in the regular season. Possibly a top 10 matchup, and it probably will be with the way that Oregon is skyrocketing up polls as of late. As an Ohio State fan, I am super excited to watch this game. I was really excited to watch the game last year in Eugene, where I thought Oregon would have a chance. This year, Oregon maybe might not have a huge of a chance as if they were at home, but there's still a chance that Oregon wins this game. I mean, it's 50-50 for me right now. Both teams have quarterback problems. Ohio State, in my opinion, definitely does have more talent than Oregon. But the way that Oregon's spring practices have gone, this is going to be a fantastic game. Definitely going to be college game day in week 2. There are a lot of good games in week 2, but this being the top 10 matchup. And they're going to get a chance to go to Ohio State, which might not happen a lot this year. Ohio State doesn't really have any huge home games besides this one. So college game day likely going here. You'll see my college game day predictions later in the offseason. Is this game going to live up to the hype in my mind? I feel like Ohio State has more figured out right now than Oregon, but other people might disagree with me. I mean, that's just this is one person's opinion. I don't have anything else to say about this game. It's going to be fantastic. Can't wait to see this one play out. But the number 1 game, and this is by far, I mean, miles above Ohio State, Oregon, Alabama, Miami. It's Georgia, Clemson. And this is the week 1 matchup that everyone is talking about. They're going to battle in Charlotte, so it's a neutral site, but kind of not really. Clemson's used to playing there for the ACC title game. Game of the year potential. This could be a playoff. This could be a playoff rematch. This could be a national title rematch, and it has huge playoff implications in my mind. A playoff elimination game, probably not, but there's a chance that it could be, depending on the scenarios that play out. So, I mean, this is going to be a fantastic game. Honestly, I cannot wait for this game to get played. I have nothing more to say about this game. Both these teams are in the top 5 in everyone's poll, or should be at least. This is a phenomenal game to watch. I cannot wait to watch this game. I mean, I have nothing more to say about this game. You got JT Daniels one side, DJ Uiagalelei on the other. Both are terrific defenses. Both have some great weapons. There you go. Those are my top 10 games I'm most excited for the season. Hey, if you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell, so you can turn on notifications. Also, leave a comment down below. You can tell me your thoughts on this video, and I will see all of you guys in the next video. Remember to play hard, but tailgate harder. I'm going to start schedule preview predictions very soon, so be on the lookout for those. Goodbye.